Hi, everybody. I'm Dina Proctor, creator of 3 by 3 Meditation and author of Madly Chasing Peace. I want to talk to you today about a question that comes up frequently, people that I am working with, and actually came up really frequently when I first started meditating. And it's, how do I know that I'm meditating right? How do I know that I'm even doing this right? And it comes from a place of wanting to make sure that you're accessing that deepest part, that you are doing what you are meant to do when you're sitting in that place of meditation. And one of the premises that I live by, and something that I say really frequently, is that for me, meditation is not an activity that I'm checking off the to-do list. It's not, I went to yoga class this morning. Oh, I had breakfast. Oh, I took a shower. Oh, I meditated. It didn't start at a certain time and end at a certain time, and then I go about my day not giving it another thought. It's not compartmentalized like that. For me, in the meditation time, the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes or the 20 minutes, that's the practice time. Think of it if you were a basketball player. That's your time in the gym. That's your time practicing your free throws. And then when you're on the field, when you're in the game, that's when you're using the muscle that you built and the, kind of reactions and reflexes that you trained in your practice time or your meditation time. When you're on the field, when you're in the game, that's when you call on the skills that you honed while you're in there. So it's a state of being. It's a state of ease and a state of flow. So when I'm meditating, yes, I generally do put on a timer and, I do kind of set aside a time for that. But my point in doing that is to access that inner space of knowledge, of flow, of peacefulness, of, kind of that inner guidance and wisdom, so that I don't just access it in that time of meditation, but it penetrates and permeates my state of awareness as I go throughout my day. So that's kind of how I think about it. But to get back to how do I know that I'm doing it right? When you think about meditation or doing anything in a state of flow, when you think about a great athlete or an amazing singer or performer, when they're in their game and they're excelling at what they do, there's not a sense of effort to that. It's a sense of ease. It's a sense of effortlessness, and everybody kind of gets chills and gets goosebumps when that person is performing at their best. They're really accessing, even though they're highly active at that time, they're accessing that state of flow and of inner guidance and of meditation. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying that meditation is something you bring throughout your day. It's a state of being. So when you're meditating, you know that you're doing it right. If when you sit down to meditate, you may have a couple minutes where it takes you a little bit to get settled and to kind of quiet the thoughts and quiet the mind. But when you come out of meditation, if it takes you a second to remember what it was, before you sit down to meditate, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I need to go shopping. I have to get the laundry done. I need to pick up the kids. I got to, give the dog a bath. I have so much to do. Or I'm annoyed with something, or something's not going right. You may have a sense of disappointment or overwhelm or, frustration with something. Then you sit down to meditate. You go through the transition time where you switch gears and you settle in and you quiet down and your mind empties. Then you spend a couple of minutes or longer in that state of the empty-mindedness. And when you come out of the meditation, if it takes you a second to remember, like, when I sat down, I know I needed to do something. What was that thing? Oh yeah, I better go pick up the kids. If it takes you a second to remember, you have accomplished it because you have changed the brain. On the train, and the brain on the tracks has switched tracks. And it takes you a second to kind of remember where you were to sit down when you sat down. That's indicating that you have achieved that state of meditation. So whether you're doing it when you're in the zone and creating something artistically or helping somebody or being involved in your work to the point where it feels like time is flying, you're in such a flow and you forget about everything else, that really is what I'm talking about. It's a state of exclusivity of your focus and also being deeply centered and plugged into that inner, what I call the inner source of power, peace, and wisdom. That source of inner peace and of great guidance and wisdom that we all have access to at any moment. And when you feel thoroughly and exclusively plugged into that, everything else fades goes by the wayside. You kind of forget about it and you're exclusively focused in that place. That's how you know that you're doing it right, that you're kind of accessing that. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I like to think in terms of analogies, and when I have something that works for me, I love sharing it because maybe it helps you too. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in, and stay around my channel. I'll have more for you soon. Take care.